What's going on, everyone? Today I'm back with another installment of the Twilight Imperium browser app video, and we're coming back to some of the niche features today. I think with this video we'll be able to finish up the technologies from the common decks. Faction technologies will show up in the Faction Spotlight series, so if you're wondering about those unique technologies, you can head on over to those videos and you can see all the technologies from each faction get featured there. Now in today's video we're going to be going over the propulsion deck, which is the blue deck here. Now, as the name might suggest, the propulsion deck is mainly related to buffing up the movement aspect of your game. One of the technologies we won't be going over is the fleet logistics technology. That's because it's already been featured in a previous video. So we're going to focus on anti-mass deflectors, gravity drive, and light wave deflector. Well, I should say light/wave deflector. So we've got a game here, and we're playing as the Federation of Sol. So if you look at our ship composition in our home system, we actually have a cruiser and a destroyer, which both currently have movement 2. If we hover over them, we can see their stat block. So normally what would happen is you could move these two ships together a maximum of 2 tiles away. But with gravity drive, what we're going to be able to do passively is after we activate a system, we can apply +1 to the move value of one of our ships. Now, you might be wondering, how do you choose which ship? And the answer is the app does this passively for you. So basically, you'd move all your ships like you normally would, and the app is going to assume that you're only exceeding movement with one of your ships, and then it'll apply the bonus to that one ship. So if you try to, for example, if you were to try to move to Mechatol Rex with your cruiser, that would be possible because we have gravity drive. However, if we also tried to take our destroyer, now we're exceeding our move value of 1 for both our cruiser and our destroyer. So if we did that, the app would say movement error, that we're exceeding the move value in one or more of our ships. So that automation is nice. Now we also have light wave deflector, and this is obviously also passively taken care of, which is going to allow our ships to move through systems that contain any other player's ships. And I'm going to show this off here with the usage of this beta wormhole. So you'll notice here that this beta wormhole has its counterpart wormhole at the top here next to the WAD home system, the Embers and WAD, that is. So typically, if you activated this system here, or this system, let's do this system. If you activated the Mahar Zol system, you would normally not be able to get there. Number 1, because currently our ships only have movement 2, so they can only make it as far as this beta wormhole. But number 3, there's a war sun here and some fighters that are blocking the path. And so if you don't have any sort of techs or abilities, you typically can't move through other units' ships. But these two issues are going to be passively resolved for us because number 1, we do have gravity drive, so we can move 3 tiles. And number 2, we have light wave deflector, so we'll be able to actually move through this war sun unabated. So let's go ahead and activate the Mahar Zol system. Okay, now we're going to pass on the ability rounds here. And so let's first demonstrate that if I try to move both the fighter and the cruiser, I won't be able to because gravity drive only applies to one ship. So in our home system, let's go ahead and select the cruiser and the destroyer. And indeed, we get an invalid move order. One or more of your units in System 1, that's our home system, do not have the move value needed to reach the active system. So we'll reset that. Now, we have the option to take either the cruiser or the destroyer. So let's go ahead and take the cruiser and see if we can get there by moving through the war zone. And indeed, we get no error this time. In fact, we are on the end your turn prompt. And if we look at the board now, we can see there's our cruiser in the Mahar-Zul system. So effectively what happened there was, if I move the cruiser back to the home system, the cruiser was first given the gravity drive buff. So typically, as you can see, the cruiser has a move value of 2, but now is 3. So 1 to move here to this wormhole system, the second move to get to its counterpart wormhole, and now the light wave deflector technology comes in, as we're allowed to move through systems that contain enemy ships. So we can move through there and apply the third movement of our move value. And there we go. So just a little demo there that shows how when you research these technologies, they actually occur passively. So you should be keeping these things in the back of your mind, I suppose. Now, probably at some point, we're going to be coding in some type of prompt or flashing that will indicate to you which of your cards are currently usable. The challenge rather, is that with the passive cards, it's going to be a little harder because I mean, you could always use passive cards. So I don't think it'll be a challenge. It just might be more of a decision to how to implement that. But I think that's probably a good idea. But right now, you're going to have to keep in mind about those passive abilities on your own. But the app is coming along, and all things come with patience. So if you've been following the progression from the start, you'll realize just how far it's come. So be patient, and you can expect to see those changes at some point in the future. Now, the other propulsion technology here is anti-mass deflectors. So what this would do is give us the ability to move into an asteroid field. Now, I'm not going to actually do this here. I'll just point it out. And again, it is passive, so it's not like you have to activate it by double-clicking the card or anything. What you'll do is you'll activate the asteroid field, or perhaps you want to get to some system where the asteroid field is in the way, right? So let's say I wanted to get to the Tarman system, and because I have gravity drive, I can apply +1 to my destroyer here, right? So now the only way to get there is 1, 2, 3, right? Or 1, 2, 3. But to do it, I have no choice but to go through the asteroid field. So we can actually do this using anti-mass deflectors. And it works the same way as the light wave deflector. So imagine we had activated the Tarman system, and now passively, all we have to do is pick our one ship with movement 2, and we'll have the buffs automatically applied to get to the Tarman system there. Okay? And yeah, so that's it. It's now just, I guess, a wording on, how do you know when you have to actually double click a card or just it's going to happen passively? And the answer is the card will really only be required to be clicked if there's a choice to be made, like a choice that isn't the only choice, right? So for example, you never have to click gravity drive because there's only going to ever be one ship that exceeds its movement. If there were two ships that could exceed their movements, then it might be a little different. But as it is, there's only going to be the one ship. So yeah, if there's a choice, then you have to click the card or whatever, make the choice. So we'll stop the video here. And I believe we've gone through all the common technologies now, apart from units, which maybe we might do, but probably not because they're pretty basic. Yeah, we'll probably just stick to the common technologies here. All right. Actually, we might do another video with the biotic deck because I don't think we've gone over X89 bacterial weapon, hypermetabolism, decks of animators, or neural motivator. They're kind of self-explanatory, but maybe it would be nice to see X89 bacterial weapon in action. So yeah, maybe look forward to that in the coming days. But for now, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.